What did you think of your overall defensive performance?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to improve on, right? Wish we wouldn't have gave up a few of those big plays in the passing game. Wish we would have been better there at the end of the game in 4 minute. Letting them run the ball was disappointing to me. Thought we battled. Started good. Just really didn't make enough plays, and they made them, and we didn't at critical times. And just got to continue to get out here and improve our technique and fundamentals. And when plays are there, we got to make them.
What went into the decision to move Cordell into the slot?
Yeah, I mean, we were just battling stuff kind of throughout camp there towards the end, just with the pieces and the comfort level of really where we were at with some of the other pieces. The familiarity for him playing in there, he's done it. So really just navigating through some of the moving parts, dealing with some injuries there those last few weeks leading up to the game and where we felt most comfortable going in the game.
Were you impressed with Drew Phillips?
I was. He did a good job when he was in there. Obviously, his very first NFL play, forced fumble, right? So can't go much better than that. So he'll continue to get a lot of work for us, and hopefully he continues to improve and gets in there and finds comfort and creates a role for himself and continue to add value for us.
With Nick banged up, how do you look at your second outside corner spot?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we got Trey Hawkins. He's been here, so he's been working with us. He's kind of played that role last year a little bit. Obviously, adding Adoree, it's not quite as dramatic. So we got some guys.
Do you believe that, like obviously defense is an all-11 thing, I understand that. Do you believe your two edge rushers, Kayvon and Burns, can take over a game?
I do. I absolutely do. I got all the confidence in the world in them. I got confidence, obviously, having Dex in there as well. You mix in the rookie, Aziz at times, how it works out. I feel very confident in our ability to affect the quarterback with four guys.
How much pressure is on that group? Like, do you think they need to do that in order for this group to get where you're going?
I tell them that every day. Like, I mean, where the resources are delegated, you got to be good. Your best players got to be good, right? Like, it's the nature of the league. Like, your best players got to play their best every single Sunday if you want to play good offense, defense, special teams, whatever it might be. So, with that, they do. They have to go out there and perform. They're working hard every single day to improve, to get on the same page, make sure they're coordinated. I mean, this week's a little bit of a different animal with the quarterback, but again, there's expectations that come with the nature of the league.
How would you assess their play in the opener?
You didn't seem to get a lot of pressure on Darnold. What was the reason for that? Do you feel like?
Yeah, I think it was a combination of things. I think at times it was the chips, the ability to max protect, how the flow of the game. Like, there were some drop back situations. Other times it was more play action, keeping guys in. When we get those one-on-ones, we just got to win. We got to factor. We got to find ways to affect them, hopefully in the middle and on the edges. But I tell all these guys, like, we have to, all 11 guys, we have to make the plays when they're there for us, and we got to win our one-on-ones, right? We got to find ways to win our one-on-ones.
How do you think, Brett, you were talking about Brian and Kayvon, you need to take over games and the resources. How do you think they did in the opener?
I think there were good plays, and there were some that they need to improve on, right? There were plays where they factored. There were plays where they were around the quarterback. They were close to the quarterback. Thought Burnsley could have had a strip sack on one where he spun inside. KT was wrapping around, matched the hand on the DPI they called on Adoree. KT got another hit wrapping around. So just consistency across the board, I think, has got to improve. But there were good and bad with really everybody.
With Kayvon in particular, though, he was credited with just one quarterback hit. How can you sustain that throughout games if that's going to be his contribution?
Yeah, I would say it's game one, right? It's game one. I don't think that's what the level of contribution that he expects from himself or any of us. Like, it is what it is. But again, like, when the plays are there, we got to be able to make them. When they're not there, we can't force our hand and do stuff that's reckless with the defense just the same, right? So he's got to play within the system, which he's done a good job of. And again, just like I tell all these guys, all 11 guys, when the plays are there for you to make, you got to make them. That's the expectation, right? When you get one-on-ones, coverage, rushing, whatever that might be, find ways to win. And you're not going to win all of them. Like, they get paid too. But find ways to win. And really, at other times, we got to be able to impact outside of the scheme a little bit, outside of those situations.
What have you seen from Jayden? Sorry, Dan. Jayden Daniels, that week 1 film.
Yeah, explosive. He eats up grass. If he gets loose and he gets vertical, he's eating up grass in a hurry. Led them in rushing. I think he had 88 yards rushing. I think he was decisive with getting the ball. He went 17 of 24. Passer rating was above 90. Had a really good first game, in my opinion, for a rookie to go out there and do what he did. Talented. Like, we're going to have to be ready for everything from being able to match and cover to also being able to keep them corralled and not let them get loose on us.
You use Burns as like a off-line background, handful of snaps. Just curious what went into that and what you saw from using him in that role.
Yeah, just changing the picture. Again, trying to create some favorable matchups at times. Things we felt like we could get them one-on-one with some guys inside potentially. Again, if teams are trying to chip them and get 4 hands on them on the snap, just another way to try to free him up, give some different looks. Again, doesn't really change a whole lot for us in the unit because there's all the same things we can do back end wise in that regard. So really just trying to give another look.
Isaiah Simmons was frustrated he did not play on defense. Why wasn't he in the game plan in week 1, and do you think he'll be?
Yeah, I expect Zay to play this week. I'm glad he's frustrated. Like, they should be frustrated. They should be disappointed. And I hope they use it as fuel to come out here and improve and get better. And he has. Like, he's approached it the right way. Like, I've been proud of him with how he's responded. But we're going to get him in there. He's going to have his opportunities, and when they come, he's got to make the most of them.
Are you going to have to make staff adjustments with Charlie with a broken leg?
Yeah, it's unique. He had surgery this morning. He was texting already. So there'll be some things. I think we'll probably move somebody down from the box to kind of help with that group throughout the game, with rotation, with everything else that comes into play. Obviously, I'll be involved a little bit more over there. Yeah, it's a tough deal. I hate it for Charlie, but I know he's fighting like hell to get back out here.
When Dex is dominating the way he did from the jump, after the fact, is there a regret that, you know what, we need to play off of that, we need to take advantage of that, because obviously, you know, it seemed like they couldn't block him, and I would imagine that's going to be just about it.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that's the case every week. Again, like, Dex is going to be a handful for a lot of guys in this league, whether it's one, whether it's 2 guys. He has a knack for winning versus 2, which is extremely rare. Again, if they're putting 4 hands on him and he's still winning, like, that means we got a lot of one-on-ones on other sides. Like, we got to be able to win those, and hopefully at times that will result in maybe them having to get 4 hands off of him, right, to free him up. So it goes hand in hand. It kind of goes both ways, but yeah, finding ways to create for him always, and knowing if we don't, like, he can still factor as exceptional as a coordinator.